Make sure I get in the right spot here. Hey everybody, my name's Clement Lush. I'm an independent filmmaker, but in my spare time I really like to oil paint. I don't get to do it very much, so this year I swore to myself I was going to get some done. And I've been doing it for about 15 years, and in that 15 years I've always built my own frames, stretched my own canvases. It just seemed like the cheapest, most efficient way to kind of get the size of frames I wanted. But this year I thought, hey, you know what? I'm going to go online. There's got to be someone out there that has posted a video that shows a better way to do it. So I went searching, and you know what? I found the exact opposite. I found that most people were doing it like on the really expensive side. They were buying really expensive pieces of wood, or they were buying pre-cut wood from like an art store. They're using their saws were really big and beautiful and expensive, and same, they have brat guns with compressors, which is all great. If you can afford that stuff and that's part of what you do, that's amazing, but I can't. So I thought, hey, maybe I'll make a video and I'll show everybody kind of what I use and how I do it, and maybe it'll help somebody. So let's go take a look. Here's everything I use to create my frames. Starting with the chop saw. This chop saw is 15 plus years old. It was 125 bucks, I think, when I bought it. And although I do use it for everything, not just this, I do change out the blade. The blade, I use a fine tooth blade for the cuts I want. It does give you better angles. The blade was $60, but again, I've had both of these things for so long, it has paid for itself time and time again. When it comes to wood, my frames are actually made out of 2x2s. 2x2s are super cheap. They come in a bundle of 9. They're wrapped with two like steel bands. I think it's $30 for 9 8-foot pieces. Word to the wise though, these are banded up. They come all tight into a bundle. If you cut the band too early, and you're not going to use them for a month, they will warp. So cut the band when you're going to use them, because then they won't warp then. But super cheap. You get so many frames out of one bundle of wood. Then I use some nails. I do pre-drills and I screw in wood screws. I do a little sanding with 100 grit paper, just to make sure that, because you're not paying for perfect wood, there is some texture here, and you want to make sure when the canvas lays on top of that, the texture doesn't come through. But that's pretty much it. You measure out your stuff, you do your cuts, you dry fit it together, and then you screw it and nail it, and it's done. So let's get to it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So I put away all the equipment, I've swept it all out, and now I'm ready to do the dry fit. I always do a dry fit just in case the corners just don't match up. It's really important because I am no carpenter, so I want to make sure that it's right. Because if you hang a frame on the wall and it's just off a bit, it looks wonky. It just doesn't look right, so we don't want that. This particular frame is actually being built for some friends of mine. They've built this beautiful cottage up north, and they have this wall in the bedroom that they don't know what they want to do with, and so we came up with this idea. So let's see if this thing actually works. And it works! Thankfully, everything goes together just right. So now, we'll get screwing, we'll get nailing, and it'll be done. Let the montage begin. So there it is, right there, all finished. Nice and sturdy, nice and square, just what you want. Now I'm going to take it inside, I'm going to stretch some canvas over top of it. But first, let me show you some of the stuff I use to actually tack this baby together. almost done. Last piece of the puzzle. We're just gonna stretch this canvas onto the frame, staple it down so it's nice and tight. Now, from what I see online, most people are using the same tools that I'm using. They're using a staple gun, they're using a hammer to make sure those staples are nice and flush after the fact, and they're using a really sharp X-Acto knife to make sure that the frame is nice and clean from any excess canvas. Now, I hear a lot of people all the time say how scared they are doing this. You know what? You can always take staples out if it's not working out for you and re-stretch and refold the corners. I buy my canvas per foot already gessoed. I can't stand gessoing my canvas after the fact. It's $6 per foot. It comes on a roll and you can measure as much as you want. So let's get started. There it is, all done. Nice and tight on the front, stapled and cut on the back. Hopefully that made this a little cheaper for you. Happy painting.